Children at this age would be attending nursery school in preparation for the intellectual tasks ahead. But many in rural areas, including post-conflict northern Uganda communities, join primary school with little or no preparations at all because they hardly access early childhood development and education centers. And the home environments that lack incentives for children to learn compounds the problem even further. The Uganda government recognizes the importance of early childhood development and education as one of the major strategies for enabling pupils to master basic literacy, numeracy, and life skills. In this regard, it is licensing private entrepreneurs to provide early childhood development and education through kindergarten or nursery schools in different parts of the country.
Everybody, banana! Banana! Banana!
Because these urban-based early childhood development centers target well-to-do parents and prefer English as a medium of instruction, the majority of the children in rural areas are left unattended to. This explains why nearly 90% of Ugandan children aged below 5 are not enrolled in any form of early learning service. Their performance at primary level is definitely compromised because they are not prepared for school at all. An independent survey of 16,200 households done by Uwezo in 2010 found that 98% of primary 3 pupils could not read a primary 2 level text. In fact, over 70% of the first 2.1 million pupils who enrolled for universal primary education dropped out before reaching primary 7. Although the rate of retention has increased, a mere 32% is still very low. Northern Uganda has even greater educational challenges, with a mere 11% early childhood development and education centers. No wonder their performance in primary leaving examination has generally remained poor. According to the Post-Conflict Educational Needs Assessment for Northern Uganda, conducted by the Ministry of Education and Sports in 2008, the proportionate number of pupils in the region obtaining Division 1 increased marginally from 4% in 1989 to only 5% in 2006. Up to date, the trend has not changed much. The situation is even worse for girls, compromising the capability of women to meaningfully participate in the development of their country. According to the 2012-2013 Ugandan National Household Survey, Northern Uganda literacy rates for women stood at 48%, while that of men was 73%.
It's unfortunate my district was in a war for over 20 years. Because of that, there was a period of time where most of our parents now were not at school. If you were in Koboko district, you would not have got a chance of an ECD. And if you didn't get a chance of an ECD in the primary, you will not get a chance of continuity with the education at all.
The communities in Koboko district have demonstrated that the Home Learning Center initiative is a good and sustainable alternative. With the support of Labe, communities like Mongoyo and Kijongina have initiated home learning centers to compensate for the inadequate provisions of early childhood education, primary schooling, and adult literacy learning in what is called classes for 3. This is Kijongina Home Learning Center. These preschoolers come from nearby families every Wednesday and Friday to participate in an hour's home-based early childhood development session that equips them with skills to facilitate their smooth transition to primary school. Ajiu Grace, their parent educator, then guides the picture reading exercise, occasionally checking their capacity to comprehend what they are learning. The sessions are conducted in Kakwa, their mother tongue, not only to meet the requirements of the National Thematic Curriculum Policy, but also to make learning a lot easier and enjoyable. No wonder, even this toddler can rightly match a sandal to her grandmother. Molding is also part and parcel of the package to give the preschoolers an opportunity to not only develop their sensory, fine motor and problem-solving skills, but also their self-esteem, expression and discipline. These models clearly speak that the children are developing steadily. As a quality assurance measure, the coordinating center tutors regularly drop in to give a helping hand to the parent educators, as they equally believe that what happens at the home learning centers is complementing their work in primary schools.
The kind of home learning center that we have, it inculcates interest in these children, friendship formation, the skill of socializing with others. These children will prefer to be at school than at home. And therefore that UP policy of retention, of sustainability, is definitely going to be achieved. And already, with what they are doing in primary schools, you can already see that there is a very good opportunity for them to excel very well in PLE.
At the home learning centers, locally made play facilities have been provided for the children to use as part of their learning routine. The initial 30 minutes play session is supervised by the parent educator to ensure that each child gets the opportunity to access playing facilities, but most importantly, make good use of them.
Kuponda naga kina takina ngaji kila naga tiku karaponde ne karaponda kukure karakonda kona kuliasikine giri kukure atikina na nyola katani atikina bubusi aponda kuuse si rodi ikuliatanga nikine katani atikina ngaji kaya kine kuyangu naga inite ngaji kaya kile buda ite kusobu beri karanyanyar kulia kuskulu kilo aro karanyanyar naga di kuse tikini beri iwudo.
At another occasion, the preschoolers, primary school pupils and their parents attend a 1-hour joint session at the home learning center. At Mongoyo Home Learning Center, the joint session begins with singing to prepare the learners' minds for learning. This is followed by riddling, used as a starter to stimulate participation and create a learning environment in which parents and children interact freely.
Baba totoka di nyamburu totoka wolonyo. Koi. Yeah. Wole eloni. Kwa kula dinye tukukwe tutu kwa kula nye tukukwate tutu ilonyo. Ngolo kagore.
Koi.
Kuje bye.
Na if you're gonna para ta koi song by ani room. Lo kare. Shoti.
Keke na kina tali kikiri. Lo matalo kudulo.
The riddling flows into a captivating storytelling session by a renowned community storyteller.
Matala rude. Adi mutulu kanikilo kilo etata kumago rile kolona na isenya kikaranga itono gana kapara kasi kominiskata ikilo munyu rugatu nangu tukilo giri mutu kula bongo kine kulia de kango tuka kara pokinyo itogo na kadekilo kara poki itogo na kadekilo ay tuka kara pokinyo urzana kana kukima ibo so de choti de na matana atoru bomugu taika atoru bomugu na gadi adi le pe arude bango tukla konwe boku mataro bayo kulia kine giri anawa nyosu kata, kio kata, kudu kata, mata, ungazi kine, wate kine, ukakita kilo giri beri kinanyo, anako.
The question and answer session, facilitated by the parent educator, is also as involving to test and develop the learner's listening and comprehension capabilities. The stories are also compiled into storybooks and big books which are used for the literacy session. This session starts with identification of the key sound for the day to help the children develop phonemic awareness. The children, guided by their parents and the parent educator, then read the pictures in the big book to help them develop a story sense. The parent educator then selects a section of the story in the big book for general reading to make sure the children can read for comprehension. Keywords are selected from the read text and then the children are asked to read and match them to those in the big books to build their vocabulary. Every session closes with the pupils and their parents molding or drawing the characters in the story as one of the ways to concretize what they have learned.
We also go for joint session to the school to follow our children. We normally go with the parents and sit together in the classes to see whether the children are performing or not, whether the skills they got from here and the knowledge, they are applying it in the classroom.
Unlike elsewhere, adults and children learning together is unusual in Uganda. In fact, many have argued that the two classes should be distinctly kept separate. However, in this case, the two seem to perfectly complement each other.
If this parent came and didn't know what an A was like, and these children are learning the letter A, at all costs, if the parent does not write it down, that picture must remain in the head of this parent. It is safe the parent to understand the needs of the school. Because when you bring the child there, the teacher can say, aha, can you get your pencils? This time your child does not have a pencil. It instills into the parent the responsibility aspect. And the parent doesn't see the school as a foreign body. The parent considers the school as a part and passion of the child. And the child feels there is a cause why my parent has sent me here. That's why he's also here. And it gives a chance where the child shares with the parent freely at home. There is no separation of these were issues at school. These are issues at home. Because now the parents are there, they have linked the family and the school with the child. And it improved more and more. Not only okay, more than that. It's a very good thing.
The joint children-parent sessions plus the parenting sessions have molded the parents to effectively play their roles, including supporting their children to accomplish their academic cycle successfully.
Kita kayu ngoloni dogbo kukiko likude katalaga be kidogbo kuba kuleta katanaga do lumadu benaga na ngutulaga dilo meda ka ngola be ngaji bakatai ngola na meda dirito gigelelo gele be kayu ngoloni ibakatayo kula kona to gigele kine kula kunyosu ibayo ngaji laga mabodi bakatai kilo kisinyo da isukulu isinyo te isukulu ngaji lo ko tini sukulu nyokanyo ka nyosu ledengo domara na ngiro la tris utusukulu ngola katogolo na matogolo inga soso bongiro dasnyo du sukulu intikini apona bani akunu bingolo nyenye imalo dosnyo do ngire sukulu lo to kungiriji ani to kuteli gele sukulu bure.
Mr. and Mrs. Maliamungu Adam are among the parents who are now very supportive to their children. Their eldest son is now in primary 3, while their 6-year-old Fadil has just joined primary 1. Sharpened by the 2 years he spent at Mongoyo Home Learning Center, Fadil is already excelling, unlike his older brother who joined primary school long before the home learning centers were introduced.
A child who has come from just direct from home to classroom will have two things to fight in. One, to know this thing in a local language, again to learn this thing also in English. So this child has a lot of challenges to face. You can see even up to P3, they cannot identify. And shaping a letter becomes a problem. The child has congested things to learn.
If all the learners in my class could go through the learning centers, my work will be now easier. Because through my experience, those people from the learning centers, they are ready to learn. Whenever you introduce something to the class, for them, within a short time, they have already picked the concept in their heads. So they learn faster and they retain the information in their mind for long. If you ask them after some days what you have taught some time back, they can tell you what you have taught in the class.
The results are so vivid that the communities, parents and teachers now know and fully appreciate that the home-based early childhood development is crucial for the academic excellence of their children.
bubusina home learning centers naga kinede beri kido meda dingaji kay kilo ku utuzi da primary karanga dukulia kine toto kungaji laga atu inasareyu anjen seloku utuzi primary.
In addition, the home learning centers have also improved the literacy levels of the parents.
Nala ile kajuna kude uduna karikwi. Boge di uroni kana home learning center kine. Atikina na tinena uru karikwi kine. Atikina na uru karikwi mwenye balio kine. Ba atikina na tine bitanani meda buku loku ngaji kwe I kaponda school yu. Lakini gedi na memeri ngaji kwe kila di karanti kine akonda lobu ya. I malu kara konda lobu ya na gedi chekia. Na memeda.
Overall, the communities are very proud to be part of the change that has started shaping their society towards development.
Government in her programs encourage parents' days, school opening days, as a means of bringing the parent nearer to the school to have a sharing with the children. They are not as effective as they are supposed to be. You know, what it brings high dropout is lack of involvement of the parent in the issues of the school of the child. Following the trend that Labe has begun to come up with, we have seen the gap between parents, schools, and children at school. It is narrowed. Parents' contributions in terms of generating ideas, in terms of constructing infrastructure, the element of voluntarism towards the education development in my district has improved. We have seen the retention of children at schools improved. We have seen performance in all aspects has improved. It gave us a move in assisting us to implement the universal primary education project, which is in the system of Ugandan education.
The 3 literacy provisions at the home learning centers are one of the practical and imaginative solutions to addressing the challenges of low education service delivery in marginalized communities such as northern Uganda and many others in the sub-Saharan Africa.